going on? Welcome back.
Hey.
We're here again. We made it. We all woke up.
We have been talking for about 30 minutes. Typically, we roll in here, haven't seen each other in a bit, and start recording, but we started talking about 30 minutes ago.
Talking about your podcast.
Yeah, man.
It's exciting times.
I told Amber last night, I'm loving the podcast right now. And you know me, I go through seasons where I'm like, what am I doing? But Ant-Man is kind of like co-host on After Midnight now. 2 nights in a row we've done it. It's been really fun. But now it's set up where we could have big-time artists come to my house to be on it, because we set up the podcast as a show where After Midnight, I got a TV that's the background of After Midnight, and we will film that just like we filmed the podcast, so we could bring Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton.
And they would come in person, or you're saying they would be there virtually?
Yeah, they would do both. But now we're capable now to have them come in person and virtually, because I got the TV ready to watch them. But that's the one thing that the company has wanted from me that I haven't been able to get them. Is we've got to get, what do we do with Luke Bryan? Or I'm just saying that, like, a top tier artist. How could he not be on After Midnight with Granger? Like, you can't have the top artist interviewing with a secondary host, So Ant-Man and I finally figured out.
Isn't that what
after
Cody
3
used to
years
do? All the time? What happened?
That's their biggest. That's what they
Is
want.
that just because he was in Nashville and it was easier? But we can
No,
still do
I
it
just
remotely.
I've said no every time.
Oh, you're the problem.
Yeah.
So what changed your mind?
Like, I didn't want to be.
Isn't that your job? Like, interviewing art, like,
not as much as it used to be in the old days with the previous host. They haven't pushed that on me, but now it's like, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So Ant-Man and I built the studio out. We're totally ready.
Did you see that email about Tractor Supply?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
But I always get emails like that.
I haven't. Rick copies me on all of them.
I get them all the time, and you just don't know if it's going to happen or not. So
I mean, that would be a perfect
it would be,
partnership.
yeah, I agree.
We can get Yee Apparel in all their stores, like, have that conversation at least.
I've gotten some like that recently with, like, Focus on the Family. There's different ministries that have done that. So were you on those with Focus on the Family?
I don't think so.
I guess you only get some of those, but
Only the big ones.
So you would get these artists on your podcast as well, or just on your After Midnight radio show, you're saying?
the way we have it set up now, this is kind of the goal, is that we could do both. So topics I have on the podcast could now also be on the radio show. Radio show topics could also be on the podcast, because we're using now the same microphone, same lights and everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So Ant-Man just comes over once a week, and we go over the topics of After Midnight. Like, the topics we have this week that where people call in are, what's a song that lifts your mood? And who is someone in your life that has modeled unconditional love? So I talk about that, bounce it off Ant-Man. We take phone calls. People call in. The song has been really fun, because then we play the song, like a chorus from the song. It's like, what's that for you guys?
Forrest Frank, for sure. That guy's all over the place. Like,
Okay.
Didn't he literally sing about it's going to be a good day or
No, I'm
something?
talking about for you. Like, you go to play a song to lift your mood. What is it?
John Denver, Sunshine on My Shoulders.
How about you?
I'm trying to think.
Are you looking it up on ChatGPT?
What makes me happy, ChatGPT?
I'm looking at my Spotify.
You really can't just say one?
No, because I don't really listen to music anymore. I was thinking about it yesterday. When I became a Christian, I pretty much completely stopped listening to music except for hymns.
Is music
No.
evil? Is that what you're saying?
Whoa, hang on. I'm not saying that it can't be a hymn. It could definitely be a hymn.
I can't even think of a hymn off the top of my head, though, that I would play. Like, I'm downcast. I need to go listen to this song.
Okay, let me rephrase it. You walk into a restaurant and they're playing a song, and you go, oh.
Surely like Kendrick Lamar or something that gets you going.
How about you walk into Bass Pro Shops, and you're like, and it comes on, you're like, oh, I love this song. Is there anything? Like for me, like Amarillo by Morning comes on. I'm in a gas station, and I'm opening up the freezer to get an energy drink or something, and Amarillo by Morning Twin Fiddles start. I'm like, this is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Doesn't everyone have a song like that?
I don't think I do, man.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's weird.
It's kind of
Brian.
weird.
What?
All of the old music that I listen to, I just associate with my old life of partying. And so even if it's like not a song that's like I used to love Kygo, I used to love Avicii, like Levels by Avicii maybe was that for me, but I just associate it so much with my former life that I just don't really have it just kind of brings me like, makes me, it just like tastes bitter now in a way. So that probably comes across as really boring.
If you,
He doesn't know that stuff. Don't pull that up.
I don't know why. See, I go in here and it's Amber's Echo. Okay, so aren't you like instantly lifted?
He has no idea what this is.
You don't know what this is?
You can't blame him. He's a 93 baby.
Wow. You don't know.
I've heard that before. I don't know the name of that song though.
My mood's already lifted. Like I feel good.
I'm not saying my mood wouldn't be lifted. I just couldn't think of one song off the top of my head that would do that for me. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah. Brian, do you have one?
There's nothing that comes to mind, but there would be a lot that would do that.
Yeah.
But there's not like a certain song, I guess, that would be like listening. But I think that's
Newer generation, man. It's just different than like 70s and 80s kids.
I'm kind of shocked by this. Like for after midnight, the phones just ring off the hook for this. Like
Yeah,
everyone wants to
I
just-
think normal people have that for sure.
Why
People
are you
listen
not
to
normal?
I think I just, for whatever reason, I just don't listen to music. I think that
Okay.
normal person gets in their car and they know their playlist and they know their top 5 songs right then. And then like, that is the way I used to be. But for whatever reason, I've just grown out of that. And I'm just a psychopath that would rather listen to sermons in the car or an audiobook. Like I can tell you a
There's
book that would
nothing-
lift my mood right now.
No, there's
or
nothing
something.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, and there's nothing wrong with how you choose to spend the time listening to things.
Like, look at my background. This is not a normal person's background.
Wow,
Yeah, that's depressing, dude.
I can't believe you have a
Are
tombstone
you
of
depressed
yourself.
right now?
Put it up again. Open it up again.
Are you okay, Parker?
Yeah, I'm not depressed. It's just I'm just
2025.
like always trying to remember if I died today. I'm just trying to remember my death.
So
Like if I die, am I living in light of the fact that this life is truly a vapor?
So you have a tombstone as a background on your phone, and it's your name on it with your birthday and today's year. So next in 2026, will it change to?
I don't know. I just did this like a week ago. I went to ChatGPT and I said, make me a tombstone with my name on it, 1993 to 2025, and what I would want on my gravestone.
So you've been reading a lot of Stoic philosophy lately, huh?
Okay, so
It is crazy though. It was actually, you know what gave me the idea was I read The Treasure Principle by Randy Alcorn, and he said, write your own obituary, because it's all about like living for. He talks about our life is a tiny dot, and eternity is actually a line. And people talk about long-term investing, when in reality, long-term investing on this earth is 30, 40, 50 years. And in the grand scheme of things, that is, you're thinking so small. And so he said, write your own obituary. So I got on ChatGPT and I said a little bit about myself. And I said, this is actually the part that's a little more like psychopath. He wrote like a really heartfelt obituary and read it out loud. He was like, I could read it to you. I could have him read it, but he's like, Parker Smith, father, husband, died unexpectedly of a heart attack in July 26, 2025. He leaves behind his
On your
son,
birthday?
David. Sorry, Tyler.
Not on Tyler's birthday. Sorry.
He leaves behind a wife and a son, and it is really interesting. It is a really interesting exercise. I would honestly really recommend it. And to see your own name on a tombstone, I don't know, just because like our grandmother died like a month ago, and I've just been thinking about death more.
So, okay, I don't think there's anything. I think that's cool. I think that's probably wise to have a good understanding of your own mortality. Have a healthy understanding that this life is fleeting and we don't have many years left, maybe a few decades at max. But that doesn't mean that because music is a gift, and there's music in heaven, and the angels are singing, and God even sings over his people, the Bible says. Jesus sings. So music is a thing. It's like is a gift. And so
Yeah, I don't think considering my mortality is tied to me not liking music. And like when I say not liking music, like Amy and I are literally, I sing more now than I ever did my whole life. Like we sing the doxology every night, and I've gotten so much better at it that I enjoy it. Like Amy's constantly singing hymns, I'm constantly singing hymns. So
name a hymn that lifts your mood. The doxology.
like I don't know, I like It As Well. That's a good one. Man of Sorrows, what a name. And
It's depressing.
why is it depressing?
Just because you're super extreme, and it's like you can enjoy, like to Granger's point, you can enjoy God's blessings while you're here on earth and like be an inspiration and a light to others and to your son, instead of him opening your phone. It's like, well, Dad's just gonna die on this date, July 26th, on Ty's birthday, I guess. Like, what is the point?
I get it.
What is the point?
I get it.
Name
Like-
a song that lifts your mood. I think Man of Sorrows does that for me. I'm sorry.
Like,
Parker.
I respect
that's all
it,
right.
Parker, and I understand. And it's like, I could probably use a little more of that remember your death and seek first the kingdom. But it's like, while God has me here and we woke up this morning, he's got a purpose for us here on this earth right now. Like, we will be with him for eternity. But until he doesn't give me another breath, I'm going to try to glorify him and enjoy his blessings and family and the gifts of the rain and the sunshine and John Denver and Alabama, whatever.
I would argue, in my defense, I would argue that having my gravestone on my phone makes me enjoy what you just said more than if it wasn't.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that like we should just live this like
It makes
sad
me
stoic
enjoy
life.
Man of Sorrows that much more when I listen to that.
Could the title of this podcast be Parker predicts his death on Tyler's birthday?
I don't know why I said
Parker
July
predict-
26th.
Parker predicts he will die on Tyler's birthday.
I had ChatGPT read it out loud to Amy, and she did like tear up. It was really sad. I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Like having to hear her husband's obituary. I just was
So-
looking. I was
so if
looking
that
at
is-
our grandmother's little obituary card on the table, and I was just like, I don't know. Death is just so weird. I'm just like, I was looking back at some like recent photos of me. I'm like, which one are they gonna pick? Which one's gonna be on the little pamphlet that's gonna end up on somebody's?
I do think
it's
that.
just so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the obituary photo. That's the cover.
Yeah. I do think about pictures and how you remember that They Were There documentary? And like a big piece of that documentary was that one soldier who's like, you never know when you take a picture what that picture will mean to you down the road.
Yeah.
And that's a sobering thought for sure. Especially in a world where we take so many pictures now. They used to be, you go develop the roll of 30 but now you take pictures indiscriminately, and one of those inevitably could at any point be you or someone else's picture displayed on a canvas in front of a casket.
I'll make sure yours is in like a really good sold out show with your guitar.
Oh yeah.
Just
People with their
how we
hands
can
up.
remember you. See, that show was packed.
Oh man. Well, I do, because I've got all the pastors in my hallway up my stairwell. I just added John MacArthur because they're all dead, and so I do Google, and John MacArthur, and I'll just search through all his pictures for the one that I want to live on my stairwell.
I remember him said, people are now asking me all these questions about my ministry and my life. And he said, and I'm just realizing they're just trying to suck everything out of me before it's too late. They're all just basically knowing I'm going to die soon. He's like, that's just a weird feeling. I'm doing all these interviews. All right. I'm just going to list off a few hymns just to defend myself.
Okay.
Now, just
Good,
to answer,
good, good.
finally answer your question. Afflicted saint, to Christ draw near. Everlasting arms, O great God. Hark, I hear the harps eternal. Precious Lord, take my hand. Glory land. Oh, praise the name. All of those I absolutely love. That if I was in Bass Pro Shops, I would instantly have my mood raised. Rock of Ages. I would rather hear that than like some Garth Brooks song, and be like,
That's fine.
Yeah, love this one.
That's fine.
I'd rather. I don't know why I'm like that.
So what about like
And all of those, almost all of those are Capitol Hill Baptist Church on Spotify for anybody who, because the version does matter, and I like congregational singing, and so if you're wondering which version I like, most of them are Capitol Hill Baptist Church.
Okay, so when I was in that huge dilemma that through the Lord Jesus and Tyler bailed me in London out of that mission trip. We were in a restaurant getting breakfast, and we heard, oh my goodness, we heard a song that I was like, okay, here, it's a hymn, and it shouldn't have been played in that place where we were, for sure. Let's see if I can find it. Right here.
Then I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. There was a band of angels coming after me.
Who is that?
Coming for to carry me
Is it Johnny?
Yeah.
Swing
Swing
low,
low.
sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
So anyway, you can hear a hymn in Bass Pro Shops, especially if it's Johnny Cash, who, was redeemed and restored, and he had a ministry through music like that. So I heard that in this, secular restaurant, and I was like, the Lord, there's the Lord. So yeah, you could have both. You could have a hymn, and it plays at Bass Pro Shops, and it lifts you up. Swing low, sweet chariot, Johnny Cash.
You know, it's a good one. That's one of my favorite YouTube videos that I've found.
This video is gonna have to get demonetized.
Is this? One sec. Sorry, I'm looking for the right part to start it. So it's like just this old church in Appalachia, and it's just like these old people singing, and they're just like smiling really big. And it's they're just singing "There is a fountain filled with blood," which sounds so morbid. But it is actually such a joyful song, and just seeing their faces. I don't remember. I think I showed this to you, Granger. I don't remember. I know I showed it to Tyler, but their voices are just so awesome.
Fucking only in 30 years.
That is cool, man.
It's incredible. They're all singing the different parts and stuff. It gives you chills.
I've been singing at church as loud. I told you this, as loud as I can. They're like Lincoln and London are just like.
Lincoln's got the best little voice. You hear him sing?
Yeah.
It's good
Yeah.
and so sweet.
You just have to do it, and I suck, and most people suck at the beginning. But if you just do it enough and you try, you just realize, okay, I'm not born, unless you're Granger, not born with the ability to just have perfect pitch. But if you just try to hit notes, if you do it long enough, the main thing that's stopping men from singing is just being self-conscious. But what's cool that I think about is I remember a quote from a guy, and he was like, I want my son to grow up thinking that men who don't, for a man to not sing loud would be strange to them. Not to say that they have to do it or whatever, but just the fact that they were around men singing so much growing up that they'd be like, oh, you don't sing? You know?
You know who was that for me? Dad. Sang loud every church service.
Yeah, it's true.
But he always sang an octave low. Oh, swing low, sweet chariot.
Yeah.
And but he sang loud, and I kind of keep that same mentality in church. I sing as loud as I can. London, the other Sunday was like, Daddy, you were rattling the cup in my hand, and it doesn't have to be pretty. I want the men around us to be like, well, got to keep up with Granger. That's the goal. Not got to sound as good. Just hey, let's do this. Let's be a witness to the world in these four walls. So yeah, I that's a mission for me every Sunday. It's just as loud as I can.
And one of the things that helps with that is if the church's music, there's a reason that like those old hymns stayed popular. It's because they're just easier to sing for Joe Blow. Like the average like non-denominational church like Brian goes to, there's nothing wrong with the music that they're singing, but I can't
right at you, Brian.
I can't sing what Lauren Daigle sings, you know, the amount of the notes that they're hitting and the melodies that they're hitting.
In Brian's defense though, his church is a lot bigger. So like, is there a way to do what you're doing even though you're preaching to 4,000 people?
Why would that be an issue, the size?
I'll address that real quick. The numbers aren't an issue because Brian's church doesn't have 4,000 in one service. You'd say 12 to 1,400. And
Joel Olstein, the pastor?
Grace Community would have about 2K. Capitol Hill has about 900.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just asking.
Numbers is not the issue.
It would sound even cooler. Yeah. It's kind of an argument you could make with 2,000 people singing.
Yeah,
you can hear them over the electric guitars.
You could definitely have 2,000 people doing that. Yeah.
What's Grace Community?
John MacArthur.
Oh, how big is Capitol Hill?
800? 900 to 1,000. 8 to 1,000. They kind of fluctuate.
Or like our Together for the Gospel conference that we went to was 12,000 pastors singing all congregationally.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah, I'm not trying to say that singing is more holy than the instruments. I get that people can do it and it's more about the posture of the heart. I'm just like, I think like maybe the Church of Christ would lean that way. I don't know.
Well,
but
I think we're called to worship, right? And it's sometimes difficult if the instruments and everything and the volume of the audio is too overwhelming. You're like, well, nobody can hear me anyway. I can't keep a tune because there's 13 people up there on stage singing.
If your goal is to encourage
and then you don't worship
the men to sing, then I do think that there's ways, just like you said, to encourage the men to sing practically, which is to lower the overall volume, to sing am I even singing is it a woman with an incredible voice but is high and hitting notes that are just unattainable to the average person?
Yeah.
Which is why I think, to your point, Tyler, I think most churches, the goal is to worship. And so from what I can tell, what worship primarily is in a church like that, and what you'd see as like a more typical non-denominational large church, is worship is primarily me listening to the person singing truth in an incredible voice. I'm not going to sing that. but
And you
I'll
get in your
have my
feels.
hands up and I'll have my eyes closed and I will be worshiping God in that way, which is just different than lights on, singing the words with your voice.
Yeah, I think this is cultural. We're talking about cultural nuances, and people are going to respond like your like Scandinavian roots, white Baptist Scandinavian Northern England. You're going to have that what you're talking about. But if you go to Central Africa and you're like, hey, the point of worship, which by the way, worship is not just the music. Worship
Right.
is many things.
My old
But-
pastor used to hate when you call the music. Didn't hate it, but he would just always want to challenge people to not just call the music worship,
Yeah.
because
Right.
technically the whole
Because
service.
the whole service is
Yeah.
worship.
Sorry, go
But
ahead.
you go to Central Africa, and the drums are going to be louder than any of the singing, right? And you wouldn't go there and be like, hey, let's get this right. Like the goal is to get the men to sing.
Right.
Or when I go to, say, Cuba, I mean, that is the Americans have to wear earplugs. It's so loud. With everything going on, we literally bring earplugs. That's what we do. The drums, the guitars, the singing, and the audience singing. I say audience because the ones behind me are singing so loud, and the drums are so loud. It's like deafening. You wouldn't go into that culture and be like, okay, guys, the goal is congregational singing with the men. That's just a cultural preference. I agree. I think it's great, but you wouldn't go to Iran where there's all these new, secret churches and say, stop all this, guitar stuff. Stop all these drums. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think that you have to keep culture in mind. How did we even get on that? Oh, we were just talking about music in general.
Yeah.
I played that Appalachian church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that to say is,
Speaking of music, you're going on tour. As we wrap up, you want to tell them? You're going back on tour, 5 cities.
5 cities.
GrangerSmith.com/tour. Buy tickets.
Yeah, basically it's called Amber, a night with Amber and Granger, or Granger and Amber, or Amber and Granger, something. But you're gonna go. You're probably not, even though we'd love to have you. But yeah, we're gonna go. Ant-Man's gonna go. We're gonna answer questions, meet people, do a live podcast. Promote Amber's book, Girl on the Bathroom Floor, and hopefully it's a roadmap for us to do this every year, to go and put
Depending
together.
on how these do. Brian, will you put the link and the dates in the description?
and you are not playing music. It is a live podcast. It's a podcast with a live audience in different cities.
That's right. Music is evil, so no music. No, we're gonna do a live podcast, meet people, have different topics, maybe different guests come in. It's a chance for people that want to hang out, want to meet us, want to ask whatever's on their heart.
Cool.
Kind of like that hater from After Midnight. Who is Granger Smith that I could have a question?
Stupid.
You'll get to channel your inner Ray Comfort dealing with hecklers.
True. That'd be fun.
One of us in this podcast is wearing new Yee Yee pants.
Nice. Those are cool.
Tyler? Just kidding. I wish I
Not
made
me.
those. Those are cool.
You like them?
They're incredible, man.
Really?
Yeah, I need to give you a pair. They're based off like your favorite QU pants. They're extremely flexible, and they're coming out in the fall launch. So I'd be excited for
Will
you
you
to try
stand
'em.
up and then we could look at them?
Stand up.
Yeah, stand up. Oh, I like the Yee Yee tag on the back. Where your hands are in right now, how's that space around your front pockets? Because typically pants like that get super tight right around there. It bothers me. Those look good though. What color do we have? Is that the only color?
Yeah, this is the only color. If they
Those
sell
are-
well, I'd like to do some charcoal or some olive ones, but I just figured these khaki. Yeah, I think with pants like these, for whatever reason, the goal, like from our designers, they like it like that in the front. And so a lot of people prefer it to be tight in the front with the mesh inner pockets. And then I like, when I'm wearing them, I actually like to just put my phone in the thigh, and it's actually nice. So it has 2 zippers right here on the thigh. But maybe we'll do an iteration at some point with a different pocket style like you're talking about. But it's really crazy that to put on these after you have jeans on, and it feels like it's like leggings for dudes. They're awesome.
They look great. Would be good travel pants, you know.
Yeah, hopefully. That was the goal. I was like, you just always talk, you're like, man, these are my favorite pants. I always wear them. And I'm like, we should just try to make some Yee Yee ones. And so,
Okay.
yeah, and they'll be way more affordable than
Do you know the
a lot of
price
stuff
on
out
it?
there. Not off the top of my head. I know they'll be less than $100.
Great. Cool.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add? Cool. Wow, what a weird episode. Everybody just ragged on Parker, talked about music. Yeah. Are we gonna put a link for some tickets to Granger's live podcast? Maybe. Let's just say we will, and then we'll forget, and then everyone will be confused. Just kidding. If you're listening on YouTube, then check out the link in the description. I guess you can do a link on every platform, right, Brian?
GrangerSmith.com/tour.
There you go. Just do that. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.